Hey everyone, I'm Madonna Guy. This is Linda Hoggart,
Hi.
and we're going to talk about a new Butte zeolite product that
We've
Linda
been
has
looking
found for us.
for the last 20 years.
So very exciting.
About 20 odd years ago, Madonna and I had fantastic results with you'd call it a liquid zeolite. It was micronized zeolite that was, cleaned up, and it was in suspension in a liquid. And kind of went off the market, and we've had some reasonable ones here and there since then, that we've been happy enough to prescribe with, but never kind of,
Never the same results.
We were talking the other day about some of the things that happened, like for our own health and the people that we have with it. So I've been in America recently, and I was looking at a company and saw that they had a zeolite, and people were like, "Oh yeah, it's amazing, and it's clean, and it's this and it's that." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know, you got to
Everyone
really
says that.
you got to really check this stuff." Yeah. So and one of the things that really caught my attention was that it said that it had 3 patents about creating it to be water soluble. And I said, how do they do that? Like, that's all in kind of water suspension. So bit by bit, I kind of read the patents, but I also started taking the product, because the other thing, I knew that once I started taking it, I would know, like I could feel it. And to my delight, the original version used to do this really cool thing in my brain, like quite clear it in a way that's different to everything. Felt very healing, I guess could be a word, helpful. And so I sat on this for about 3 months while I did my research, and then I got to speak to the doctor who's hired the research team and been a big, well, the part of kind of developing it. I wanted to talk to him as well. And then the night after I spoke to him, I woke up that morning, I said to Don, I've got to call Madonna. I was in Spain, and because it was a day that I know Madonna's not that busy. Yeah, and I called her. I said, I've got some really good news, because there was a zeolite you've been using, but it's no longer available in Australia now. It's disappeared in the last few weeks. And I said, I think I've found the ultimate zeolite in what I'm experiencing, and the patents, etc. with that. So this zeolite is called ClearDrops. It has been proven through pharmaceutical type modeling to be absorbed into the cells. Feels to me like it's going everywhere and doing everything. I've certainly had signs that some things that are deep in my body are moving, because don't ever underestimate how much you accumulate from your environment along the lines of heavy metals.
It's so true. Absolutely.
Etc. It's a big problem. It's a huge problem in chronic fatigue. Why is someone okay, and then as they get older, everything starts hitting the wall. The cogs in their mitochondria don't want to click over and make energy. Well, a big part of the answer to that is toxicity. But then it's like, how do we get the toxicity kind of out of the body? And the awesome thing about
So you'd do a 3-day detox.
Oh, okay, sorry. Maybe just eat grapes for 3 days. See what
Sorry, there's some silly detoxes out there.
Yeah, and all our detox pathways are protein based. So let's freaking starve ourselves and not eat protein, and shut our detox pathways down by 50% and go from chronic fatigue to I can't get out of bed. All these things we have seen.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt, but I can't. There's so many stupid detoxes out there. I couldn't help but mentioning.
Yeah, no, people are just like detox, man. It's a big subject, and there's a lot of chemistry involved, on lots of levels and lots of genetics, and yeah.
One of the worst VLA, so I do bioimpedance screening. One of the worst ones I ever saw was a lady who had just done a 30-day juice fast with a naturopath. She'd lost heaps of weight, and she got me
to... She lost a lot of muscle.
Yep, and her inflammation was through the roof. She said, I feel fantastic. I said, yes, you've been swimming in sugar for 30 days.
Yes. Woohoo.
Anyway.
Yeah, and often too, when people do go down to, say, something like fruit, it removes the grains out of their diet. I'm often on a bit of a grain mission with people, because they're so inflammatory and things, and create such a myriad of symptoms of depression, and that that can be that people have got rid of something they're really intolerant to, so they kind of feel better, but at what cost of something else?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the thing I just love about zeolite, and it's actually a particular type of zeolite called clinoptenolite. There's heaps of types of zeolites. So clinoptenolite at a molecular level looks like a honeycomb, and inside these honeycombs there are ionic charges that have high affinities for heavy metals. So hence you have to take, according to me and Madonna, you have to take a product that's been cleaned up, like not scrubbed, been, allowed the ionic charges to drop. And what I love about ClearDrops is I have seen the assays and there's no heavy metals in the product.
That's amazing. It's so good. It's so good after all these years.
Yeah. And then to be micronized, it can cross the blood-brain barrier. It's going into cellular. I know what I'm experiencing in my body, starting to use it with some people. Yeah, I'm excited to see where we're sitting with it in a year. This product is currently available in the USA. Madonna will drop the link below. It's sold through an awesome company called My Daily Choice. And you can hop on My Daily Choice and order the product basically in the United States. It will come onto the My Daily Choice Australia and New Zealand website. I guess it's a matter of weeks and things at the moment. So Madonna will give everyone a thumbs up when it's available kind of here. If you've watched this and you're outside of America and you go, oh my God, I just kind of really need that, we do have someone in the USA that will help us out for now and on ship. And also anything in the USA that you ever want, wherever you are in the world, you can send it to, there are on shipping services that, might charge you $10 a month or something, plus whatever the shipping costs. And they're like it almost gives you your own US postal box and you can get it forwarded to you. So, yeah.
And it is funny because it's so hard to get some of these unique products. And knowing that they're clean is so huge.
I know, we just look, because we've been looking at some product manuals and all of that today, and yet I know for me, my 3 favourite products in the world actually are distributed by companies like My Daily Choice, and I've gone really looking for them for my own health and for the integrity of the people that ask me, where should I spend my money? Yeah, so it's a big subject.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And, because one of the things that I love about zeolite from that charge perspective, and is this still correct, given you've had the big chat? The big chat with the big cheese recently.
Hit me up.
So the way that I understood zeolite a million years ago was that it's highly negatively charged.
Yeah, those are the ionic charges.
Right. Yeah. And so a lot of heavy metals are positively charged.
They're all positively charged.
So zeolite goes along and binds to some heavy metals, and then it's drawn back to other negatively charged toxins in the body, like cancer cells. And then pretty much it ping-pongs through the body, getting rid of anything that's less toxic and binding with things that are more toxic, and it leaves the body in 7 to 9 hours.
That's right, it is 7. Yep, I said to someone the other day, I'm sure it's at 8 hours. My understanding too, while the mercury is inside those honeycombs and its charge is connected with the negative charge of the zeolite, that stops it being disruptive, because a big part, having gone through quite a lot of mercury detox kind of things, you can feel a lot worse before you feel better. And some of the things that get recommended to people, get the mercury moving, but while it's moving, that's really destructive while it's getting out through the system.
Yeah.
And I guess that's why we've also got another video about this product here, Rock On, that come in a 30-pack that are available from My Daily Choice as well. And if my recommendation from my personal experience and what I see with people and what muscle tests up with them is to use the 2 products together, because as your body starts lowering things like mercury and arsenic, because they work on these gradients, it will start kind of moving independently, and then you need all your own detoxification pathways optimized and working properly,
right,
which is what the Rock On does. And then you just be really consistent with both products. You've got an independent grabber of the toxins, and you've got something that's increasing your antioxidants and your detoxification pathways, and bit by bit get your body out of the straitjacket you might be finding it in.
What's the dose of the zeolite per day?
So it's on the packet, Madonna.
You've been taking it.
I muscle test everything. So it's recommending half a mil a day. There's a 1 mil dropper in there. So no, Madonna and I test everything. So I just keep testing until it kind of where it comes up to on the dropper. I know I have My fiance has had mercury poisoning as well, and very, very sensitive guy. And I have learned we just start him on really, really low doses. Yeah, we started him on 2 drops. He's up to 6 drops, and he's like, "Wow, I can really feel it."
Wow, that's funny. Oh, gorgeous. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
But
so
some of those people are the ones who get the best results.
exactly.
You know?
And I think there's probably an because in the last video you said, what's your favorite things to use it for? One of the things that to treat lupus can be really, really difficult, and one of the places I always start is with zeolite.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, out of all the autoimmunities, lupus is really connected with accumulation of toxicity. And my late daughter's father has had lupus for the last 20 years, and that's what he would swear by. He swears by the zeolite, and the broccoli sprout extract has given him a huge amount of stability in the reactivity of his body.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, when we first found the first liquid zeolite, he was in his first year of diagnosis. He was really sick, and his kidneys were sore, and that's how you die from lupus. The immune complexes with the autoimmunity create these big immune complexes, and they physically damage the kidney. So he was in kidney pain. For a man who was very olive skinned, he was pale and grey, and he changed from his first dose of zeolite. And I think that was the beginning of us becoming obsessed with zeolite.
Oh man, we just loved it. You could just see people's lives changing with it. It was really quite incredible.
And I guess it's things you look at, like, what does mercury do? Mercury sits in the place of magnesium. So if you're sitting there going, oh my God, I can't live unless I'm eating a bucket of magnesium a week. Well, one of the big issues could be there is that you've only got so many magnesium receptors open, and you're trying to flood them all the time, but mercury's sitting in its place. And mercury, when it sits in the place of magnesium in the mitochondria, just really looks up your ability to release your energy and feel the energy in your body. I remember doing a course once with a biochemist who talked about the role of magnesium in the mitochondria, and he said to think about like being an archer, and you stretch out your bow, and this point here is where all the energy is, and that's the role of magnesium. It's holding it there to release the energy. But you've got mercury here, it's going to go, you don't have any energy. In fact, I could make you feel like you're dying and you can't get out of bed with so little mercury. So as that mercury is worked out of the body with these types of things, increase your magnesium. But, some of the other symptoms, I guess, because people just don't realize what it's doing. I was in an airport earlier this year, and I got stuck there. It was that day where that software programming played up. We had extra 8 hours in San Francisco airport, and I sat with a lady, and in her story, she'd just been to Taiwan to see a doctor because nobody could work out what's wrong with her. And so after a while I said, well, what's going on, because I'm like, I have to know. And she goes, well, I get these electric shocks, and they kind of like paralyze me for about 20 seconds. And I've sort of got just really chronically tired, and nobody knows what's wrong with me. I'm like, oh, you've got mercury poisoning. And she's like, what? How would I get that? And I said, oh, well, there is a lot of mercury in the atmosphere in fish. A lot of it comes from coal-fired power stations. And she went, oh, when I got sick, we were living in Taiwan next to a coal-fired power station.
Oh, wow.
And so I did some muscle testing, and I sort of said, you are going to need these couple of things. But she was kind of that week. I put her on something just to help really build up her body. Yeah, and I got an email a few weeks ago going, oh, my God, I feel so much better. And I'm like, cool. Time to now start investigating these other couple of products.
Yeah, nice. Well done.
Yeah, that's cool, eh? I was pretty rapt with it.
Well,
cheaper than flying to Taiwan.
Oh my goodness.
So that, just thinking, obviously chronic fatigue, autoimmunity. I was high. It's high blood pressure and low blood pressure, because one of the things that really stabilized my low blood pressure was when we took that original zeolite. After about a year, it became heaps better. And I remember talking to a biochemist about that, going, why do you think that is? And he said, well, we know that one of the main things that damages the adrenal glands is toxicity and heavy metals. because the only thing that I was just on this chronic requirement of adrenal herbs to keep my blood pressure up. I'm 6 foot tall, so when it's low, I'm quite wobbly. Yeah, and that was that. And then I've also, with high blood pressure, particularly mercury and high blood pressure. Funny that, as soon as it's also, it's
antimony as well, I keep hearing.
I think so.
Because of plastic bottles and everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of crap out there. There's areas in New Zealand where people have really high arsenic levels because it naturally comes out of granite. So ends up in the water supply. Arsenic, very linked to skin cancer.
Right.
Yeah. All right. We could talk for ages. Particularly we've got some books out. Yeah. But yeah, if any of that kind of rings a bell, get in touch with Madonna, have a look at the website and add some of these things into your regime.
Yes, it was my fibromyalgia that first got helped with the zeolite.
Right.
So I'd had like low level, I was just used to waking up in pain and as a young naturopath, I was just trying everything and I'm a horse dose of everything, so if anything was going to work, it was going to work. If it said 4 a day in the bottle, it was definitely going to work at 12 a day.
Yeah.
So, and nothing was working, or at least occasionally when I would wake up without pain, I'd think, well, I don't know what I did differently last night. And then when I started the zeolite, and I started at the time, the detox dose was 30 drops.
Yep.
And I started on that, and my clients who had known me for a few years by this stage were asking me about different symptoms and stuff. And they'd say, well, how's your tennis elbow? And I go, oh, I haven't felt that, or how's this? And they were asking me about my symptoms because, I was a massage therapist and, so you chat to your clients.
I can remember both of us having like lumps of things coming out of our gums.
Yeah, and pain occasionally like woody woodpecker when I sort of imagined the zeolite was getting through bone or something to pull out some mercury or something.
I had signs of stuff coming everywhere, basically. So I had endometriosis, so you want to start getting some of all of that congestion clearing from your body. It's ClearDrops, Brock-On and Stem Enhance. They are the things that really decongested around my uterus.
Beautiful.
And it came out of me. I saw it.
Better out than in. Awesome. So there's a couple of things that we really love.
Yeah, cool. And, all the best on your journey. We're both here to help and answer questions.
Yeah, beautiful. Excellent. Thanks all.
Bye.